Okay, so yeah, basically I just want to start out by saying that um this is going to be about my perspective and things that I liked about Breath of the Wild, and then moving forward, also Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know whether or not it'll be interesting to anybody else, but hopefully, for people who have played it, it'll be nice to reminisce a little bit, and maybe even for other people who have not played it or might be new to the Zelda series, it could be helpful for them, and hopefully interesting. So, I'm starting out at the Shrine of Resurrection, which is where you start in the game. Link wakes up 100 years after being in stasis. And yeah, there's a Korok guy hanging out here. And this thing here is actually to activate the DLC shrines. There are 16 of them in total. And I'm pretty sure that they, completing those shrines, gave me the additional guardian powers in the upper left hand corner. So all of those guys up there have a plus sign, and times one and so on next to them, because I completed the additional shrine quests, and then it boosts um, the guardian powers. So yeah, let's just kind of get out of here really quick. So moving on, and today we're just gonna kind of focus on the Great Plateau and then maybe go from area to area. So let's just kind of get out of here. And for anybody who might be watching this and this is your first time, haven't played this or have not finished the game, there's definitely going to be spoilers in here. So, anyways, you come out here and basically you can see most of the Great Plateau from here already. And the very beginning of the game, you have to complete the first five shrines that are in this area, and can show you that right on my map. So there's the Resurrection Shrine is not part of it. So one, two, three, four, and five, and there's actually eight. I think some of these are extra shrines actually. Um, so yeah, I think three of those shrines, I'm sorry, are part of the DLC quest. And then we have the Great Plateau Tower here. So let's just go back out. And yeah, like the graphics are just stunning and amazing. It goes without saying. I'm sure hundreds of thousands of people have said that already. Um, but one of the first things I want to talk about is just that, for people like me who may have not played Zelda for a long time, and or people who are not used to free world environments, the game can be kind of overwhelming and just a bit daunting because it really is kind of like a free for all. You can, go wherever you want at any time and do anything. Um, so it's kind of like, what do you do? But in the beginning, it's not so bad because, like I said, you have these first five shrines that you have to complete in order to get the paraglider, and the paraglider is essential to basically continue in the game. And actually, let me zoom out here. There's this kind of wall around the perimeter here, and I believe there's a traveling guy who actually turns out to be the king. I believe he warns you and says, like, you cannot go past the wall, and it's true. Like, you will just die if you go past that wall. um, until you get the first five shrines completed, anyway. So, anyways, let's kind of move along here because it's not interesting to just stand there. Um, let's just kind of move along, and then you kind of come down here. Um, and again, I hadn't played Zelda since like the second Zelda, so we're talking about like 2D pixelated graphics, and I'm just like, whoa, what is all this? So the king guy ends up being here, hanging out, and then you kind of talk to him. And he shows up again on occasion. So over here, you have the Temple of Time. And it's just like, wow. Like, even though it's kind of in ruins, it just looks amazing. So, let's kind of move along here. Let's just kind of revisit that. So, let's see, what's the best way to go here? Let's just kind of skirt around because I don't really want to engage in any battles. I might have to, anyways. Um, Let me just take this guy out pretty quick. See you? Okay. Um, so yeah, like I said, I hadn't played Zelda since um, the second one, which was for Super Nintendo, if I remember correctly. Um, and actually, after I played Breath of the Wild, I went back and I played Ocarina of Time. Unfortunately, I played it on Switch, and the Switch version is not great, so I don't, recommend it whatsoever. If you have a 3DS or have played it on 3DS, way to go. Um, but yeah, it was real. The graphics were just really bad to the point where I could not even like see where I was going. But this Temple of Time is amazing. We're talking Ocarina of Time all the way to here. So there's a couple more guys I gotta take out here. Thankfully, they're easy and there's not much going on. So yeah, I mean, this is just amazing. Even being in ruins, it's like wow, we have this full fleshed out, um, just beautiful Temple of Time. Ocarina of Time, it was okay, but yeah, and we have this really pretty goddess statue here, which lights up at night, and it's just it's pretty nice. So yeah, what else? So this is kind of for the sake of reminiscing and just you know, like hey, like this is like, one of the Zelda staples. So I'm pretty sure um the Temple of Time has basically been in almost every Zelda. I digress. There are a few I have not played, so I don't want to say 100%. But yeah, even up there, we've got the Triforce on the front of the building. So yeah, it was just really great after playing, Ocarina of Time after this. And then it's like, oh, like, hey, it's the Temple of Time. And it's very essential and core to the story in Ocarina of Time. Um, so just seeing it like, in all its glory here. Oh, there we go. It's starting to glow there. Was really cool. I was like, wow, like I appreciate that so much more. After having gone back and played the old game. So yeah, let's just kind of take a tour through here. And I don't know about other people. I know that nowadays we have people who are modding their Switches, and maybe even other game systems. And so they can basically do amazing things after, modding their system. Um, I'm pretty sure there's probably more than one, but there's one guy on YouTube who has rebuilt some of these buildings and stuff, and they're amazing. But for me, part of the appealing point of um, or the fascinating point about Zelda is, one is like there's this complex story of Link and Zelda just um, being reincarnated constantly. And two, it's like, wow, like um, all of this is destroyed. And, what did this look like before? So, again, it's like some people have, been able to recreate what the castle and the town and whatnot look like, um, which is awesome. But I also, enjoy just imagining, like, hey, what was this like before, Ganon came along and things like that. So, actually, this is like a whole big complex. So it's not just the castle, which is um, actually off in the distance there. There's like a whole castle town that existed, partially exists now, um, around the castle. So it's like, wow, like this is kind of crazy. And then again, I had been out of the loop for a while, but I've been playing Hyrule Warriors, the Age of Calamity, which is a Dynasty Warrior um, type Zelda game for, yeah, like that's the best way to describe it. Um, and it basically shows, they have the castle and the whole like kind of, Hyrule Town, Castle Town, and whatnot. Um, Basically, it's all in one piece still, for the most part. So, Hyrule Warriors is actually like when when the battle began, 100 years before Breath of the Wild. And now that we have Breath of the Wild, we know how that turned out. But um, anyway, so yeah, at the time during that game, most of Hyrule was still intact, and then as you participate in the battles and things, um, basically, the castle and whatnot gets destroyed. So yeah, let's just kind of take a look around here. So I guess I kind of went in a roundabout way, but yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then there's one of the dragons. Um, so that's the lightning dragon there. He's pretty cool. In Tears of the Kingdom, you actually get to ride the dragons. So yeah, he's kind of going back over the bridge there. Anyway, so back to like this being like a free world kind of game. And not really having any kind of structure, or not knowing where to go, what to do, and that kind of a thing. um so as I said before, um you have to get the or you have to complete the first 5 shrines, and then you find out like the traveler is actually the ghost of the king. And then he gives you the paraglider, which was his design apparently. um, and then you can kind of go out and about and go wherever you want. So um, yeah, I just woke these guys up. That stinks. So yeah, after that you can kind of go out and about wherever you want. So I don't really want to do this. um Shoot, and my sword broke. Okay, and my master sword is running low on energy as well. Okay, so let's just get the heck out of here. um okay, all right, I want to get back to the road though. So I'm sorry about that, I digress. So yeah, not having a lot of structure, not knowing where to go or what to do. And then the king gives you the paraglider, and you can kind of go about your business, do whatever you want, kind of a thing. But it's still overwhelming. It's still kind of daunting. However, the king does suggest that you head east towards um, Kakariko and Hateno villages, and then uh, he kind of like urges you to seek out Robbie and Pura, and to get them to kind of help you, and to activate the Seeker Stone. Um, I don't know, machines, I guess. And yeah, these Yiga are like following me all over the place. Um, I'm gonna have to get more weapons here. um, they're not too happy that I took out their master. um, okay, so let's just collect um, my reward there and take out these guys really quick. Okay, and okay, that's all good. Okay, so um, again, I digress. So yeah, just um, you get the paraglider. You can go wherever you want, kind of a thing. But the king does suggest going to Hateno village and Kakariko to seek out Impa and Pura and Robbie, actually. And then I think at that point, I can't quite recall actually, but I think at that point you get the Sheikah slate, which then you can start building the map. So at that point, you would probably have about this much on your map. And then every time you activate a tower or a shrine, then, well, every time you activate the tower, it opens up a portion of the map. And then, of course, you'll be able to warp to shrines as well once you activate them. So, yeah, here's some more like kind of cool ruins. It's like, oh, this is where somebody lived, kind of a thing. Um, just as a kind of side topic here. So yeah, and then so yeah, all these fountains and stuff are destroyed. So basically, starting out, you want to get to Kakariko and Hateno. I think Kakariko is not so difficult, and I think actually somebody even said, I don't remember if it was the king or one of the travelers wandering around, but somebody recommends going to Dueling Peaks, which is straight up ahead here. Um, so you kind of have an idea, like, okay, like, first I'm going to go to Dueling Peaks and get over to, um, Kakariko and Hateno Village, and, uh, just kind of seeking out Robbie and Pura and Impa, which was another thing that was really cool. It's like, oh my god, Impa is like ancient because she was in Ocarina of Time, right? And then um, when we get there, you'll see. But Impa is totally, uh, an old woman. So yeah, she must be ancient. uh, Maybe immortal. I'm not sure. So yeah, so you kind of, you have that much, like you can head in that direction, head east, and start out with those quests, and then after that it's kind of a free for all. So um one thing that I um recommend doing though, and I think this kind of happened to a lot of players, at least to ones that I talked to, and it was like while they were heading to Kakariko and Hateno, they just ended up going to the Zora and securing the elephant guardian right away. It just kind of happens. So um, I'm sorry, I am not a very graceful player. So I just kind of like run right in, and I'm not very stealthy. So please forgive my sloppy playing. Uh, anyway, so just for the sake of enjoying some more scenery here. But yeah, so I think, yeah, like a lot of players tend to end up just in Zora and then securing or activating, well, I guess taking back the elephant guardian. So it just kind of seems to be how it goes. And then after that, one thing I have to say is that, like, I really do like recommend getting at least, one or two beasts almost right away, because it really helps you throughout the game. Um Honestly, like, Tears of the Kingdom is so much more amazing, which goes without saying, that I've kind of forgotten how to use the guardian powers, um other than this one, which is uh the Goro guy's power, so from Death Mountain. So yeah, and I think Mifa the elephant, if you die, it automatically resurrects you. I can't remember how to use the bird though, cause yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm a little bit rusty um, with this game because I have not played for quite a while, until recently, anyway. So yeah, we're heading up towards Dueling Peaks here, and just to, I don't know, it's not so interesting, I guess. I mean, it is, but um, I think other than just watching me kind of like, uh, run around in a forest, I'm gonna warp a little bit. It kind of feels like Lord of the Rings here. Um, so yeah, there's Dueling Peaks Tower here. There's a couple shrines over here, and we're gonna warp to the shrine here, which is really near the stable. Um, so yeah, also just reminiscing, um, and also because I had forgotten, I don't recall the first or second Zelda so well, um, but it was really cool. Like, even the Zora and Kakariko and all of these guys, the rock guys from Death Mountain, they're all in like Ocarina of Time. So that was really, really cool. It's like, oh, like, these have always been like kind of people of Hyrule, or I don't know, species of Hyrule, races of Hyrule, I guess. So yeah, that was kind of cool. And actually, something else that's really cool is, I forget what it was, but some part of the DLC that I completed, um, I got this really awesome motorcycle. So, um, yeah, let's ride this puppy, and we're gonna get to Kakariko a lot faster, even better than horseback riding. um, so yeah, I think basically, um, you know, you can start off with um, Kakariko Hateno, end up in Zora. Um, you'll have Mifa helping you out, so if you die, you can be resurrected. And then, of course, it has to recharge. Um, but then, uh, sorry. Oh, uh, I'm, oh my gosh. Okay. How do I refuel this? Okay. Oh, wow. I've never noticed that before, but it looks like a horse. uh, what do I do with it? How do I refill it? Okay, this is new for me because I got the motorcycle right at the end, and I must have fueled it at one time, but I don't quite remember. Ah, see, let's just take. Here we go. I guess it goes like that. All right, so we got half a tank here. Let's do it. Oh yeah, this is pretty cool. All right, so these villagers are totally freaked out. Um, yeah, I guess like let's just go to Kakariko. So, as I was saying, yeah, once you have like Mifa, I think at the very least, that will be cool. Um, and then it's very very helpful, of course. Okay, so um, yeah, we're gonna go to Kakariko, and then um, as I was saying, so yeah, once you have Mifa, it's really helpful. Um, and then from there, basically what I did is I made it a point to activate all of the towers um, to be able to open up the map, of course. So I think there's something like 15 towers, maybe a little bit more, maybe a few more. I can't quite recall now. But yeah, so it was really helpful to basically um, activate the towers. Let's take a look at the map here. So to activate the towers and then open up the map, and then it was really fun because, of course, you're going to the tower or looking for the tower, and then kind of running around all over the place, and you get to see all these amazing graphics of Hyrule, um, and it was very satisfying, at least for me, to um, see the map kind of emerge piece by piece. So, and some of the towers were actually really difficult to get to. So, I'll talk about that more when um, we get to those other areas as well. And then after that, I basically would activate the shrines as I went along too. And some of the shrines in Breath of the Wild are really quite difficult. And the camera is not always so cooperative or easy to get used to. So um, they really did an amazing job in Tears of the Kingdom with fixing that. So there's still a few issues, but nothing's perfect. But um, between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it's just amazing how much more they improved um, the UX design. It's just really, really amazing. Okay, so yeah, basically, they really did a much better job in Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, Breath of the Wild by itself was like, wow, amazing. Um, after even Ocarina of Time in its own time was amazing. Um, but yeah, the some of the shrines were really really difficult. So I would just pass them, do the ones that I could, and then I would come back later and um, finish the really difficult ones in the end. So the DLC shrines were also very difficult. Um, so yeah, I would say like that's kind of how you want to go about this. So, you start off basically on the Great Plateau, um, down over here. Oh, geez. Um, and, just starting off there and, the first 5 shrines and get the paraglider, head over to Dueling Peaks, and then Kakariko and Hateno. Kind of end up with the Zora in the long run, and then um, again having the elephant which resurrects you when you die is really really helpful for getting around because again some of the towers are really difficult to get to and I'll kind of talk about that when I get to those different areas. So yeah, I think that kind of concludes the Great Plateau, and then just starting out with the kind of Kakariko, Hateno, and Zora area from next time.